Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's having an awesome day today. Now I did put out a video earlier about the Xbox and PS3 being my next big go-to for collecting and why I think the prices are going to skyrocket in these consoles. And just to follow up on that, I didn't include these two consoles in it because I want to do a two-part series of this because I do think that they are kind of different. So the other two consoles I would say that are going to be in this category in the next few years and you want to keep an eye out for is going to be the Nintendo Wii and the Nintendo Wii U. Now there will be completely different reasons why that these two consoles will be a hot commodity in the next 5 to 10 years, guys. You can mark my words on it. Already starting to see it with the Nintendo Wii itself. But the Wii U is the one I would really look out for. We're going to break that all down and we're going to get right into the video, guys. Some of these will overlap, guys. The first one we're going to dive into is the Nintendo Wii.
We would like to play.
So you do have to ask yourself, was this a mass-produced console? Yes, of course it was. Did it have low power like Nintendo usually does? Yes, of course it did. But what the Wii did was appeal to a very large casual audience. This console did sell over 100 million units, guys. There is a lot of them out there. But that doesn't always affect the value of certain collectibles. You can see it with PlayStation 2 or Pokemon games and stuff. Sometimes it doesn't matter how many units are sold. It doesn't necessarily affect the collectability of these. Now, the first white console that came out was backwards compatible. This makes it very sought after. It has the 4 ports on the front. You can't miss it. And that does give it a little bit of a leg up. Because the GameCube games, highly popular, guys, very expensive. If you are collecting these, you know that. A lot of us that do collect know that the GameCube consoles, while somewhat reliable, do have some optical drive issues. You know, the drive can get out of whack. The laser eye can get a little wonky, and the speed of the drive can get a little out of whack as well, guys. So you just want to keep that in mind. The Wii is a very reliable console. Other than the doors breaking on the front, I would say it's a relatively safe bet when you're buying these that they are probably going to work. Itself does have a ton of shovelware, guys. You want to keep that in mind. A lot of titles that probably will not ever be worth very much money on it, but you're already seeing some of the titles on this being very sought after, and collectors are getting into this, guys. A few examples, you know, a few examples would be Card 8, Donkey Kong Country, New Super Mario Bros. Wii. That would surprise you on this platform. Now, as the years tick by, I think this will get coupled in with the 360 and PS3. And that generation is the last true generation of physical media where you went out and bought the discs. You really do digital downloads unless it was map packs and stuff like that. So really the next step in collecting, it will include the Wii as well, guys. Don't kid yourself. I'll be perfectly honest with you. The excess Wii consoles that I pick up at yard sales for like $10, they do pretty much sell instantly on Facebook Marketplace. You can put them for like 50 or 60 bucks with a couple shovelware games and they will sell like that. So there is a demand for these and the demand is going up. They're not super expensive at the moment. Doesn't mean that they won't be in the future, guys, and you can bet that they will be worth more. Now, that being said, as I mentioned before, there are some variations of the console. Red Mini, there's a black version. There's also a teal version, which is started to go up in price quite a bit. I think the teal version without the box, you're looking at $120 to $130 in that range. So that's one on my bucket list I need to get. I also need a red one. Now, I like to collect in the box. If you're new to the channel, I am doing some completionist stuff, trying to collect consoles and put them in the box and getting rid of all my spare consoles that are loose. I do have the Wii in the Mario Kart box. I believe it's about $400 if you're looking for that on eBay or Marketplace. It's one of the more rare versions. I picked it up for $50 about 2 years ago from an old lady about 30 kilometers from my house. excellent deal. Can't complain there, guys. Those deals are far and few between now. Something like that, definitely pick it up to add to your collection. Now, let's get into the Wii U, guys.
We'll make this quick.
My time's dropping fast, people.
Boo!
Time to upgrade to Wii U.
With Wii U, we can play Super Mario 3D World.
Find secrets with the Wii U gamepad.
And did we mention togetherness?
Just check out the simulation.
Whoa.
I look good.
Look at that.
Yeah, I look like I've been upgraded.
Get the gift of family when you upgrade to Wii U for $299.99. Game rated E for everyone.
Now, if you are a collector that is collecting games for the Wii U or the consoles, you will notice something. A lot of the games are still very cheap. And personally, I don't know why they are cheap, because I think it's an awesome console. I'm going to tell you why I believe this console is going to be a hot collector's item in the next 5 to 10 years, guys. First, there is actual scarcity of this. The Nintendo Wii U only sold about 13 million units. It was a huge commercial failure for Nintendo. Nintendo doesn't have a lot of failures. I would say the GameCube was also one of their hardware failures. It didn't sell a lot either. And you know yourself, if you're a collector looking for a white Wii U, you don't see a lot of them out there, guys. I believe there was only a black and a white one. I have a black one complete in the box. I am on the hunt for a white one. Again, I'm not too sure if the white one came in a branded box with a certain game or not. I believe the black one I got was one of the Mario Kart versions or something. I'd have to double check on that. But just the scarcity of it, and I believe following in the footsteps of like the GameCube and stuff, the actual scarcity and low sales of this is going to drive this thing to the moon, guys. And if I was betting on only a couple consoles from this time frame, I would definitely bet on the Wii U being the most expensive one at the end of the day. Now, the games for it, guys. So when you are out at yard sales or even thrift stores, and a lot of the times game stores, you can buy a lot of Wii U games for that $5 to $15 range. Good games, there's nothing wrong with them. Lots of first party titles, you know, Mario's, Donkey Kong, stuff like that. To me, I'm not too sure why this is still so cheap to buy on, and it's kind of one of those little well-kept secrets in the gaming community, honestly. Tim and myself have really been on a Wii U kick trying to collect on it, and if you are just starting out to collect or a seasoned collector, this might be the console to get in now, guys, before it does go up in price. One thing you have to understand with the Wii U, guys, it is a very small game library, and if you are a completionist, this might be the one to start collecting on. They only had around 180 to 200 physical titles on this console, very low, which means you don't have to have a huge amount of shelf space to collect all the games on this. I don't believe there's any games that are like crazy expensive. I know there's a few in that $80 to $100 range. I know there's a couple Zelda games on the platform that are worth some money, guys. There's Breath of the Wild and Wind Waker. I'm not too sure how high they've gone in price lately. I believe Wind Waker's around $80 or so. Don't quote me on that. As for some of the Mario titles, some of them are surprisingly cheap still. So now is the time to get in on this before they get too expensive, guys. Wii U was only produced for about 4 years, guys, so as you know, the Wii U is kind of like that stopgap between the Wii and the Switch. It kind of brought them both together. It was still a console, but it also had the handheld element. I don't believe the audience was quite ready for this at the time. But what it did do was kind of catapult Nintendo into the Switch category with the handheld stuff. And the Switch is immensely popular, guys. And I think some of the people that got the Switch and maybe skipped out on the Wii U, down the road, if they are collecting stuff, they might just want this just because they might like that Nintendo handheld stuff. And it's like anything, if people see value in something from back in the day, they'll be like, hey, this is cool, I might want it. For me, the Wii U is a no-brainer for collecting, guys. If you do have a chance to pick up one in the box or just out in general to play, I would definitely do it. It was a very neat console, one that I never really paid much attention to be honest with you. I just like that they have their own distinct flavor. They had that kind of blue teal game case for them, and they were really kind of wacky when they came out, and maybe they were just too far ahead of their time when they did release. You guys know yourself when something comes out, doesn't sell well, and then it becomes scarce because there's just not a lot of them kicking around. The Wii U has all of these elements, and it is a recipe for it to be worth a lot of money down the road. You guys know yourself, like, the Atari Lynx or even the Sega Nomad or the GameCube, all these things that came out, they kind of flopped sales-wise. They're worth a ton now, guys. So just keep that in mind. I'm not going to get into the nuts and bolts of buying and reselling this stuff. It's more about if you are a collector and you don't want to miss an opportunity to get a cool collectible before it gets really stupid in price, the Wii U would be the console I would definitely go for. And on that note, you may have some differing opinions on that. And if you do, absolutely let me know in the comments below how you feel about this. I know personally, if I was a betting man, I'd be betting on the Wii U. I love talking about video games, vintage toys, all that sort of thing. Really takes me back to my childhood, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying the content. And we will see you on the next one. Everyone have an awesome day. Peace.